Becoming Brianna by Teri Libenson. Prologue. Well, here I am again. How did I get myself into this twice? Deja vu? Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment or just a sucker. That last one probably nails it. Why else would I put myself in the spotlight again? Peeking through the curtains, I see my parents and lots of friends. At least I have support. Or witnesses of this train wreck. Showtime. Okay, here I go. I hope I know my part well. I hope I don't screw up. I hope I don't trip on my face. I hope I get this over with fast. 8 months ago, Mom and I are sitting at the kitchen table, shoving pizza in our faces. It's homemade pizza. Mom started making it from scratch when she realized it was just about the only thing I ever ate without complaining. Also, she figured it'd be healthier. Regular pizza. Crispy crust, drippy and gooey, semi-sweet sauce. Healthy pizza. Slightly burned crust, but still good. Sometimes made of cauliflower. Not as drippy and gooey, semi-sweet sauce. It's not bad. I like Ramon's pizza the best, but I've got to hand it to Mom. She banged the owner for the sauce recipe 1,000 times until he finally gave in. Ramon made her swear she wouldn't give it away and would burn the photocopy of his handwritten recipe. I'm at Mom's condo this week. My parents are divorced and share custody. They trade off weeks. It can be a pain going back and forth, but I'm pretty used to it. Pack stuff I drag along. Favorite clothes, 50% PJs, science books, small fuzzy pillow, phone, backpack full of homework, Camp Rebel water bottle, extra pair of tangled earbuds, childhood stuffed animal, also shh, hidden candy, shh, fluffy keychain thingy, handy wheels. Stuffing myself with pizza. At least I try. Wondering why I'm being watched. I'd really like to pick up the conversation we had last week. Aw, Mom. I asked if you would think about it. I still don't know. But I need an answer. You need to prepare. Can I think about it next week? I have an algebra quiz and an English essay, and, hon, it would mean the world to me. Mom. Grandparents. Your grandpa would be so proud if he were alive. Wow, Mom. Did I mention she's the queen of guilt? I went through 432,000 hours of labor with you. Please, hon, this is something you'll look back on so fondly, and it's a family tradition. What are you talking about? You were the first one in your family to do this. The first female, and that's another thing. It's so important that women should be honored this way. That is the ultimate guilt. Mom knows I've been a feminist since I was like 5. She just touched a nerve. Fine. So fast, I almost didn't see her get up. Mom races over and engulfs me in a powerful hug. I'm so glad, hon, you're not going to regret this. What Mom doesn't know is that anytime she says that, I usually do. Now, we're Mom's regular salon. Laverne is doing me up. Real name is Laverne, but Frenchifying it gets her more business. I think there are 2, but I don't have that info on me. So, are you excited about the big day, honey? I'm starting to think this is more her day than mine. Well, try not to let her steal your thunder. Too late. Are you kidding me? They made none? Laverne finishes and steps back. How do you like it, honey? Waves okay? Looks great. And nails okay? Yes, thanks. Can't they whip up something last minute, like hummus on toast or those avocado thingies? And we head out. Next victim. It was just the snafu, and they're back on track. You should see the flowers. Gorgeous. You look heavenly up there. Right, you okay? What's wrong? It's okay. You don't have to say anything until it's time. 8 months ago. So by now you might be wondering what exactly I just agreed to. If you're 12 or 13 years old and Jewish, you've probably guessed. Yup, I just agreed to have a bat mitzvah. Kids have bar or bat mitzvahs, bar for boys, bat for girls, around age 13. Sometimes younger for girls because, we're mature and stuff. It marks a coming of age in Jewish tradition. The boy or girl leads the service in Hebrew, usually at a synagogue, in front of family, friends, and even strangers, aka relatives you've never met. My second cousin Jason, 3 years ago. Voice cracking in Hebrew. This is no little thing, believe me. You have to start preparing about 6 months ahead, or longer if you don't know Hebrew too well, which I don't. Here's the story. My mom is Jewish, my dad isn't. Traditionally, this means I'm considered Jewish. If it were reversed, I wouldn't be. Weird, considering the usual religious patriarchy thing. Men in charge, big surprise. Traditional view. Father, Jewish. Mother, not Jewish. Child, not Jewish. Father, not Jewish. Mother, Jewish. Child, Jewish. Non-traditional view. Our temple in a nutshell. Jewish, not Jewish, Jewish. Not Jewish, Jewish, Jewish. Not Jewish, Jewish, Jewish. When I was growing up, Mom encouraged me to go to religious school, aka made me. That meant a couple of weeks nights and Sunday mornings. Because my studies came first, I didn't always have time to go. And maybe I used that as an excuse once too often. I have a science quiz and recorder practice. It's not that it was horrible. The teachers were nice and they tried to make the lesson interesting, like the games and stuff. But most of the kids went to the local Jewish day camp during summers, and we're always hanging out together. I didn't go to that camp, so I always felt a little left out. Science camp, robotics camp. Also, I was pretty bad at Hebrew. I know what you're thinking. Me? Bad at a class? But languages aren't my thing. I'm not even that great at Spanish. I just study extra hard for it, and that's how I get A's. Really? Actual kid from Spain. Anyway, I put my foot down and stopped going to religious school after 5th grade. I had way more important things to do, and I really wasn't that into it. Dad couldn't care less. Mom agreed and seemed to stop pressing the issue. But around September, she brought up the idea of a bat mitzvah. At first, I was like, no way. But she kept insisting and wore me down. So here I am, wondering, not for the first time, what I just did to myself. It's true, Mom was the first girl in her family to have a bat mitzvah. Her temple didn't allow him for girls until then. Even her older sister, my Aunt Danny, didn't have one. Her younger sister, my Aunt Ashley, was just plain against it for some reason. Graham, Aunt Ash, 12 years old. No way. Literally putting her foot down. I know Mom just wants me to carry on the tradition she started. I can't really blame her. I'm her only child, so this is her one big chance. Why can't I have siblings? I also know I'm doing this more for her than me. Hun, it would mean the world to me. But I'm still trying to figure out why. Now, getting a late lunch. So do you want to talk about something else? Help take your mind off it? I dunno. Well, your hair looks so pretty. Laverne did a great job. Yeah. We eat in silence. I remember my big day, so long ago. Mom, can you not? Oh, sure, hun. I feel bad, but honestly, if either one of us starts talking, I might explode. Superwoman, nerves of steel. Me, nerves of silly putty. We finish up and get going. Bri, oh, hi Mrs. D, see you tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight. See ya. You'll do great. What a sweet girl. You two are getting closer, aren't you? Sorta. She's more Em's friend. They're pretty tight. Does that bother you, Emmy having another close friend? No, why should it? Just asking. We ride in silence. Okay, sometimes. Want to talk about it? Absolutely not. I get it. We can talk another time, though, if you want. Okay. Maybe tomorrow. 7 months ago. Em and I are at lunch. It's pretty loud today. Everyone's excited because Thanksgiving break starts tomorrow. The enthusiasm is echoed by the force of the ice cream freezer lid slamming. I make a face at Emmy's lunch. What is it today? Wheat berry salad, I think? What are those thingies in it? Olives, I hope. She pokes one of her spork. Ow! Sorry. What's a wheat berry anyway? Or do you mean wheat salad with berries? Wheat berries are like a grain, and can we talk about something else? It's hard not to make fun of Emmy's lunches, which are usually leftovers from home. Her mom's kind of a health nut. Nut being the key word. Emmy, do you want to do some power lunges to Beyonce? But I know Em's so over it, so I try not to push it. Yeah, sure. I bite into my sandwich. I'm attempting to branch out from pizza. Dad packed me his leftover stuff from a faculty meeting yesterday. Gravy and turkey, of course. I immediately spit it out. Why do I even bother? I sip my milk. So I have something to tell you. What? I'm having a bat mitzvah. Really? When? June. I'm starting Hebrew tutoring and stuff. It's a lot of work. Joe Lango grabs 3 ice cream sandwiches and slams the freezer lid so hard my turkey and gravy separate. What a jerk. I'm surprised. That Joe's a jerk? Where have you been? No, that you're having a bat mitzvah. Isn't that for more religious people? You don't have to be religious to have one, but I know what you mean. I'm kind of surprised myself. The chatty art kids get up and leave. Taylor Ross suddenly runs by our table and tries to catch a flying styrofoam plate. It misses and lands in front of us. Gray, lumpy, and slimy? Probably gravy. Hey, sorry, I'll get that. He grabs the greasy plate and flings it at Anthony Randall. They're playing some sort of frisbee game with Joelle. They're each in a corner of the cafeteria in triangle formation, except they're trying to eat ice cream sandwiches and play at once. Not very effective. Keeps landing on tables. Keeps landing outside of mouths. The lunch monitor must be on a break. I turn toward Emmy, whose face is bright violet. 2 shades above normal blushing. Maybe you should tell him you like him, and if he doesn't like you back, at least you can move on. Stop it, you're not changing the subject. Back to the bat mitzvah. Okay. So, yeah, I decided to do it. Mainly for my mom. Oh, Bri. You should talk. How many half marathons have your mom dragged you to? To watch, not to do. Okay, fine. I guess I can take it back and not have one. But a small part of me wants to, I think. I don't know why. Maybe underneath you have a spiritual side. Yeah, that's it. Maybe you'll figure out as you go along. Maybe. The plate lands in front of us again, this time knocking over my milk. I jump up. Luckily, there's not much in the carton. It dribbles down the side of the table and just misses my shoe. This time, Anthony rushes over and grabs the plate, half an ice cream sandwich sticking out of his mouth. Sorry. Now it's my turn to blush. Maybe you should tell him you like him, and if he doesn't like you back, at least you can move on. I feel myself turning the same shade of violet. Yeah, okay, I deserve that. Still, I won't admit it. Give it up, Em. Snarty, not your thing. Fine. We look at each other and start bursting out laughing. At the same time, some lone girl passes us, balancing an overflowing lunch tray. How'd she score 3 tacos? I mean, yuck, but still. Oh, don't people have parties right after a bat mitzvah? You should invite Anthony, and then you could invite Tyler Ross, and then we could dance right next to them. Like that would ever happen. And since when did you dance? I did at the 6th grade dance. And you almost fell in Lindsay Dawn's skate. Oh, that could be your plan. Trip over Tyler, and he have to catch you. And then you're in his arms. He'll find you irresistible. That's called meeting cute. I already know him, silly. But you don't know him. Falling in love is like getting to know someone all over again. And how would you know? I look across the room at Anthony. He just sat down and is avoiding the lunchroom monitor, who finally showed up. He spits into a napkin. I still don't know why that doesn't gross me out. I guess love really is blind. I read a lot, remember? Now, we arrive at the temple. Dad's coming later. He has to pick up some stuff for the party room. Top secret. Mom and I walk in. On one hand, it's total chaos. On the other, Mom's phone starts buzzing. Oh, shoot, it's Grandma. Hi, Mom. There's not much for me to do yet, so I wander down the hall. Old consecration photos. There I am, me age 6. Man, I was so cute. Dish eyes, little baby teeth, asymmetrical pigtails because I used to tug on the left one, preppy white dress. I actually remember that time because it was right after we moved to Lakefront from Atlanta. Looking closely, I might be able to see tears of homesickness. Consecration marks the beginning of Jewish learning, but I didn't care about that. I just want to go home. It was before my parents got divorced. We have some photos of us that day. Did this when I was nervous. I wonder if I even knew what I committed to back then, and that I'd end up here today. Doubtful. Kinda wish Laverne had given me pigtails. My thoughts get interrupted. Bri, we still have a few things in the car. Can you give me a hand? I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I went over the list a gazillion times, just like the day of the show. It's not a show, Mom. Stop calling it that. I didn't, hon. Oh, never mind. Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I'm fine. No, you're not. You're tugging on your hair, just like you did when you were small. I immediately stopped pulling my hair. You can't fool me, Brianna Davis. I know your moves. But does she? She only knows my habits. But she'll never know how I really feel. And how I feel about this. Embarrassed over 2 new zits. Terrified. Sort of excited. Resentful. Forgetful. Scared of showing my huge post braces front teeth. Like a long-legged giraffe freak. And a million things I can't even name. 6 months ago. I'm hanging out by Emmy's locker. It's right before homeroom, and the hallway is crowded. Gossip girls. Joelle acting like an animal. About to scare a phone alarm. Tyler Ross. Baked bean girl. Stupid protein bar and apple juice. Smelly kid is smelling. And us. How bad is it? Pretty bad. We're getting to stray jacket territory. Wow. I know I'm not as cute as him, but you could at least pretend to listen. Distracted. Sorry. Anyway, she's in full mom mania. Taking eyes off Tyler. Yeah, she's doing all the planning. Says the party is a surprise. Not that I mind, cause I have better things to do, but I swear she's going nuts. And on top of it, she and my dad are fighting. Fighting? But they don't even live together. But they're still close, and they still talk on the phone a lot. Or fight on it now. That's awful. Em finishes shoving our supplies in her backpack and grabs her book. She closes her locker door. And we walk by Joe Lango and Tyler. Actually, I have to step over Joe Lango because he's rolling on the floor and howling like a dog. I don't even want to know. We stop around the corner from homeroom. I don't know what my mom is planning for this party, but I'm sure she's going overboard. She's like in full theatrics mode. If she could, she'd probably hire the entire cast of Hamilton to dance motivators. What are those? People who lead everyone on the dance floor and show them moves. I was Googling stuff about bat mitzvahs and found it. Maybe she'll build a stage and sing by herself. Don't even joke about that. Careful what you say. They might spread the word about Hamilton, and then you'll have to, charge admission. Don't joke about that either. I don't want anyone to show up. I can barely learn these Hebrew prayers. I think the cantor is about to bang her head, or mine, against the wall. But whatever. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You sure you don't? I said I don't. Jeez, Bri. I'm sorry. I've barely started and I'm so done. Across the hall, we see M's new friend from our class, Sarah. She waves and comes over. I feel a little ping inside, like a hand just squeezed my guts. Hi guys. Did you see the Zentallas hang up outside by Mrs. Lauren's room? She put them next to our self-portraits. Now they're on shortened name terms. That's when you know people are getting to good friends. Yeah, so that's so embarrassing. I hate my self-portrait. Are you kidding? It's the best one in the class. I want to gag, but I hold it in because the bell's about to ring, and I realize we're going to be late for homeroom. That's an excuse to nudge Emma away from Sarah. I tuck her on the sweater sleeve. Wrap it up, we're gonna be late. She throws me an annoying look. I keep forgetting myself. Please? Okay, see you later, Sarah. We walk toward homeroom, and I tried to put this all bat mitzvah and Sarah stuff behind me. For now. Someone taps me on the shoulder. Hey, Bri, right? Yeah? Em and I do a double take. Zoe Torres is one of the coolest kids in our grade. Popular, but not too popular. She's pretty friendly, which is one of the reasons people like her. But it's the first time she ever spoken to me. I wanted to say congrats on that A you got on the algebra test. I didn't think anyone would even pass that. Thanks. Well, see you in class. Okay, bye. That was nice, but weird. No one ever congratulated me on getting an A before. Usually, I get a reaction like, suck up. Em and I shrug at the same time and walk to homeroom. Now, we're back in the atrium. I get the sudden feeling I forgot something. Mom, we don't need extra sweaters for the sanctuary. It's 100 degrees. Mom. There's no commotion coming from the party room, but the doors are closed. Fine, just bring them. I don't care what size. Feel like a volcano of nerves about to erupt. It finally dawns on me. Mom. Hang on. What, honey, what? I forgot some stuff at home. What? What stuff? Like my speech and a couple of notes, but mostly my speech. Brianna Pattis Davis. Are you kidding me? Again, really, parents? Oh, I just got full named. I'm sorry, but I didn't sleep too well, and I was groggy, and I must have forgotten it. I was so busy getting ready, and... It's okay. I'll call your dad. A minute later. Okay, it's fine. Dad was on his way, but he turned around to get your speech and notes. On the kitchen table, right? Nodding. Mom's phone rings again. Are you okay? Nodding again. Okay, hello? Oh, hey, Ash. Yes, fine. I'll tell Mom I'll check the thermostat again. I wander over to another part of the atrium and sit down on a bench. I try to breathe. Somehow choking on my own spit. I distract myself by practicing some Hebrew prayers. But there's no Hebrew. Hebrew gone. I'm panicking again. But I can't look like I'm panicking because that'll make Mom erupt like Vinicius. Sure, I can't remember Vinicius, but I can't remember anything else. Okay, Mom is busy. Dad's still gone. I need somebody. Somebody else. 5 months ago, I'm at the temple, sitting in Cardinal Giordano Caruso Sager's office. Fun to say 10 times fast. I just barely got through practicing the first of many Hebrew blessings. On the plus side, I think I'm now reading at the 2nd grade level. Hebrew for Dummies, a reference for the rest of us. It's coming along, Bri. How often are you meeting with your tutor? Once a week. I might talk to your parents about kicking it up a notch. Maybe twice a week? Sorry, I know I'm all about grades and stuff, but I've always had a weird mental block of Hebrew. It's okay. It's an especially tough language, and considering you were in a regular religious school, this is pretty good. Pang of guilt. I'm supposed to move the counter about 3 or 4 times before the Bar Mitzvah, so she can see how I'm coming along with the prayers. This is our first meeting, and I'm not exactly shining. More like fizzing. Okay, Bri, let's move on. She hands me a prayer book and marked with little fluorescent sticky notes. This is the Torah portion, or Parasah for your Bar Mitzvah. I'd like you to read over the English translation and find 3 paragraphs that have meaning to you. That's the section you'll read in Hebrew on the big day. It's a good one, Bri. It's a celebration, all about the holiday of Shavuot. It talks about the giving of Torah to our ancestors. It's basically an agreement between people and God. Inwardly, I groan, because honestly, I don't even know if I believe in any of this. So does this mean my Bat Mitzvah will just be one big sham? Are you okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll also set up a meeting with Rabbi Nosak to start outlining your speech, which is based on the Torah portion. A speech? It'll be okay, Bri. It's not as bad as you think. He'll help you, especially at first. Inwardly, I groan again. A speech? It's bad enough I have to get up in front of everyone and chant Hebrew. Making a speech just adds to the pile of dread. I must look exactly how I feel because Cantor Caruso Sager chuckles louder. Don't worry, all kids pull through. Easy for her to say. Besides, there's always a first. She gives me one final pep talk and then we say goodbye. Dad's waiting for me in the hall. I'm relieved he's here instead of Mom. She's been in hyper-planning mode and won't stop talking about seating charts. You'd think I was getting married. This is a rather fancy dress for a Bat Mitzvah. We walk to his car. How'd it go? I need more tutoring. More? Aren't you already doing it every week? Yeah, but my Hebrew isn't great. I should have gone to religious school more. Well, I don't know about that. You were focused on school, which is a priority, right? I guess. He's trying to make me feel better, but at the same time, part of me wonders why he ever encouraged me to come here more often. Oh geez, now I sound like Mom. Anyway, how could he have known I was going to do this? We get in the car and start driving. Oh boy, I'm not sure how much this is going to cost us between tutoring at the party. I must have had a horrified look on my face because he stops himself. Oh geez, kiddo, sorry about that. It's not your problem. You just focus on what you need to do. I squeeze my eyes shut. Both my parents are teachers, which means they don't earn the highest salaries, proven by all the stuff they make by hand. Mom's thread-bar homemade curtains. Dad's questionable deck. Great. Now I add feel guilty to the top of my to-do list. I ask myself for the 1400th time this month, why am I having a Bat Mitzvah? Now, my dad arrives, looking as usual like he just woke up. Shirt half tucked, bagel in locks, tie untied. Here, Bri, please tell me I grabbed the right papers. Yes, thank you. Oh, Ben, thank goodness. We've got another issue with the caterer. Why do we even need a caterer anyway? Can't you just be supportive? This is me being supportive. They bicker while I sit there and try to blend in with the huge potted plant. Can we please take this to the party room and away from everyone else? Who's everyone else? Bri and a ficus? As usual, Dad argues but follows her. I sit for a minute trying to remember all the Hebrew I just lost. Mom and Dad heading to the party room. I still can't find my Hebrew, but something else is starting to make an appearance. Like my lunch. 4 months ago, Emmy's over. We're hanging in my room. At Dad's house. Seriously, you want me to? Yeah, go ahead. I'll draw you while you do it. That way I won't be staring at you. If you're drawing me, how is that not staring at me? You know what I mean. I'll be looking at you like on and off, not staring, and only half paying attention, so you won't be as nervous. I get it. I'm used to him sketching me anyway. It probably would make me less jittery. Okay, fine. I start reading my Hebrew blessings. I stumble a lot, but I keep going. At the same time, Em draws me in her sketchbook. That thing is full of me's. I don't even mind. She only does it to practice her faces, and she sure wouldn't dare draw anyone else except her family. Although I once snuck a peek at her book while she was in the bathroom and saw a few sketches from memory of Tyler. They weren't half bad. I was surprised she hadn't put little hearts in his eyes and floating around his head. That girl is a goner. But I should talk. If I could draw Anthony, I totally would. I don't even have the nerve to sneak selfies with him in the background, like a lot of girls with crushes do, which, by the way, is so obvious. I finished the 4 blessings. Em looks up. That was good. Nah, it wasn't. Well, I couldn't tell except for like 5 times. Anyway, most of your friends are Jewish and wouldn't care. But my family would, and I do have some Jewish friends. You do? Who? A bunch from robotics camp, and my mom's friends' kids that I used to hang out with when I was younger, plus some friends from Atlanta that are coming. I'm on Snapchat with them. This is going to be almost half and half, just like me. Oh, wow, well then, keep going. That's it. I haven't even learned my Torah portion. Those are just the before and after blessings. Don't you have a speech too? Yeah, but I've been putting it off. Sometimes I really don't know why I'm doing this. Well, maybe I do. My dad knocks on the door. Come in. Hi, Amy. Right, you left your phone in the kitchen and it started buzzing. Oh, thanks. He raises an eyebrow at all the books and old clothes scattered like mulch across the floor, but doesn't say anything, which I'm grateful for. I know I have to get rid of some of it already. Eyebrow says more than words. He raises a hand to signal goodbye and leaves. Huh, Zoe Torres. She messaged me on Snapchat. Really? Was that an accident? Hey girl, so are you around to study for algebra? I need a study buddy. That is the weirdest of weird. I mean, I know we have a test in a couple of days, but this is the first time Zoe T ever asked me for help, and I thought she was okay at math. Still, wow, kind of flattering. That is so weird. Well, this algebra chapter is pretty hard, so maybe she just needs some help. Me and annoying Dev Devar are the only ones who ace this class, and I doubt she'd ever go to him. He'd make her memorize pneumatic rap relics. I text back. "'Kay, when do you want to meet? Tomorrow at my house after school? No, wait, got soccer. Like 7? 'Kay, send address. Cool, you're the best. I stare at my phone for a sec, then toss it casually on my bed. It slides off into a pile of dirty clothes. So weird, but also kind of exciting. I'm not caught up in coolness or anything, but I have to admit, studying with Zoe gives me a little thrill chill. I start to wonder what her house looks like. Then I start wondering if we could become friends. I look at Em, hunch over her sketchbook like an armadillo, while she scratches away again. I think of her and Sarah in art class, bonding over lapscapes. You're the best. No, you're the best. We're the best. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to try and branch out a little. Now, OMG, I just upchucked on my bat mitzvah day. Is this a really gross salmon? I splash some water on my face and take a few small sips. Then I sit on a couch in the ladies' lounge. Older than me. Spring poking my butt. The only good thing about getting sick is that it takes your mind off feeling nervous. Before, focused on Hebrew. Now, focused on keeping the rest of my lunch. Bri, you look pale as a she. Are you okay? I've been better. What's going on? Are you nervous? I, I, I have stage fright and I don't know I can do this. Whoa, slow down. Sorry, it's just, I went through this once before in a school talent show. I was on stage for the first time. Anyway, it was fine, but I swear I wouldn't do it again. And now here I am, and I have to do everything in Hebrew, and give a speech, and I just threw up. Sorry. First of all, don't apologize. It's natural to be nervous. Second, do you need anything? Crackers, ginger ale? Shaking head. Third, you've got this, Brianna Davis, and if not, I'll be up there to help you. So will the rabbi. Heck, you wouldn't be the first to throw up before a bat mitzvah. I once had a kid vomit in the middle of her parasat right in the pulpit flowers. Really? Well, maybe to the side of them a little bit, but the custodian wasn't pleased. I laugh and feel better. Sure you're okay? Yeah. Want me to stick around? No, I'm good. Just let me know if you need anything. I do feel better, although I'm not sure I want to come out, but I guess I have to sometime. I open the door and step back into the atrium. In particular, I cry with relief. 3 months ago. I've stopped talking with the bat mitzvah at school, trying to stop thinking about it too. It's been getting in the way of everything. Hebrew tutoring and practice takes up so much time. I need to, what's that word? Compartmentize. Brain cubicles. Ice cream, school, science facts, bat mitzvah, boys, closed for business for now due to stress, and friends. I did take a break from it all for a day when Mom roped me into doing the talent show. You can't stay here, Rachel. Why not, Sean? This is my place too. Scene from a play. I won't even go into that. Let's just say it did not help my bat mitzvah jitters. Okay, it was kind of fun, and I actually got a surprising friend out of it, Dev. But it also reminded me that I hate being the center of attention. Besides, it's the one thing to memorize a bunch of lines and knock them out. It's another to, forget it, compartmentizing. It's the end of the day, and I'm grabbing everything from my locker. Hey, Bri. Hi. Thanks for all the study sessions. It was fun watching Doctor Who after the last one. Oh yeah, it was. Want to come over Saturday? Olivia Frank is coming too, and we're going to make up songs in our ukes. Everyone and their sister are buying ukuleles now. It's the latest nerd rage, after nerd glasses. I like to say I had one before it became trendy. Age 3, nerdtastic. Sure, sounds fun. Cool, I'll text. Did she just invite you to her house? Yeah, she's actually pretty nice. And Olivia Frank is going to be there. Olivia Frank? Isn't she that popular 8th grader? Yup. Hoping I sound as cool as a cucumber and not enthusiastic as a... Okay, no vegetable comes to mind. The final bell rings and we head to our buses. Sarah waves by and gets on hers. Em and I get on ours. We sit in our usual seats. Bri, can I talk to you about something? Sure, what's up? So, I don't know how to tell you this, but, well, suddenly sweating. Spit it out, Em. Okay, so there seems to be this rumor going around. When Em gets nervous, everything she says sounds like a question. Rumor? Yeah, like a rumor about your bat mitzvah party? What? I think someone heard us talking about it, like back before we stopped talking about it at school. Because a couple of weeks ago we were talking about it all the time and yeah, I get it. So what's the rumor? People think it's going to be a huge blowout. What? I know, you know how rumors travel through schools? It's like a game of telephone. I overheard the Gossip Girls talking. People think it's going to be the summer experience. And now some girls want to score an invite. One kid called it Brianna Bozula. There are rumors of Drake coming and a huge Dippin' Dots truck. My jaw drops. Then I start laughing hysterically because it's so over the top. That's pure craziness. I know, but now everyone's Googling bat mitzvah parties. And of course, they all see like the ones that celebrities have. Well, even if any of those rumors were true, why would I want to invite anyone to my bat mitzvah party? Because it's not about you, it's about the party. Remember when we joked about Hamilton? I'm sure some people think it's true. Oh, come on. Anyway, that's just the part I wanted to tell you. What's the other part? I am wondering if that's why Zoe is suddenly hanging around you. Getting me nervous again. Okay, girl, you just lost your mind. I'm serious, Bri. I mean, I know you're great and everything, but Zoe's pretty popular, and all of a sudden she's like your new BFF. I don't think she's interested in finding a new friend like you. No offense. No offense. You just said the only reason Zoe wants to hang out with me is because of my bat mitzvah party. Well, think about it. She's one of your cool friends, and you're, not that you aren't cool, but I may not be cool, but did you ever think she might still like me for my personality? Something you might not know about? I see. I can't believe you just said that. The bus stops and I get up. Apologize. No, I won't. Not this time. She's in a different league, and she's using you, and I stand by that. Rare stubborn state. Even she surprised herself by her bluntness. Back in September, she stood up for herself in front of Joe Lango. After that, she gained some confidence and 2 new friends, Sarah and Tyler. Ever since, Emmy's been trying to live her truth. But that's her truth. It's my stop. Bye. I get off and not even turn around to look back at Em through the bus window. Can feel her gaze like a torch, though. The nerve. Okay, yeah, I may not be the top tier, but I'm not a social pariah either. Maybe Emmy's just jealous that I'm starting to hang out with Zoe, but it's not like she hasn't branched out. And anyway, I'm not suddenly friends with Zoe. We studied together a bunch of times, and it's been growing from there. We text and we watch Doctor Who. We're becoming friends. Not just magic, it's natural. Evolution of friendship. Strangers, acquaintances, friends. Regular evolution does not include ukuleles. My thoughts bounce between disbelieving those crazy party rumors and being mad at Emmy. Thought NATO. I stomp home. I can't remember the last time I was so steamed. Even when she lost a love letter I wrote to Anthony at school in December. I mean, that was an accident, and I don't even think I like him anymore. But this is just mean. Something I never knew Emmy had in her. Now, are you okay, Brippy? You sounded upset in your text. And Ashley, her embarrassing nickname for me since forever, weird hybrid of first name and middle name. Fancy peasant dress? Yeah, I'm better, but Mom and Dad are fighting, and I'm just nervous and stuff. I'm sorry. Do you want me to help? Can you just sit with me? You're the only one in the family who I feel calm around. Sure. Aunt Ashley reminds me of a yoga instructor Emmy's mom once drank us to. You are now entering a Zen state of mission, or no-mindedness. As we sit, I feel my pulse slow down. I wish I could bring her to school sometimes. Emotional support aunt. After a while, though, the silence gets to me. And Ash, Mom said you never had a bat mitzvah. Why? Oh, well, we weren't particularly religious. We only went to services on high holidays. And truthfully, I've always been an atheist even then. So I put my foot down, probably the only time I did. Oh, but your mom had a bat mitzvah and was happy about it. It's different for everyone. At one point, I told her I didn't want to do it. Yeah? Why? I didn't think I had enough meaning for me. I thought it meant more for her. And Ash nods her head and gets it. But then, I think your mom was right about you doing this. Shocking, I know, but I think there's meaning to it for you. Brippy, you can find meaning in a soup can. So this day should knock your socks off. I laugh. I feel better already. Hey, guess what Gabby did today? cousin who always looks electrotized. She really did stick her finger in a socket, and Tina flipped. Luckily, the socket was dead. Good thing everything in the house is old and broken. A moment later, someone walks in the door. I do the unthinkable. Most undignified thing I've done in months. Dev. Glad I sent him a text too. 2 3/4 months ago. I'm sitting on the deck steps at my dad's. We finally got the patio all set for spring. Furniture hosed down, old lemonade can tossed, loose plank fixed, and we got a new weed. I'm rolling a disgusting tennis ball with my foot. It got into the yard by accident. Probably belongs to the neighbor's dog. Chew marks, slobber, cracked on one side. This is usually where I come out to think. My bedroom is my thinking room all winter, but as soon as the warm weather hits, I come out here. Even my brain needs some air. Besides, my room is getting too distracting with all the homework, STEM stuff, and Hebrew notes spread everywhere. Not to mention the books and clothes that I still haven't done anything with. Moving along, nothing to see here. Please, go away. I feel really depressed. It's been a week since Em and I have spoken to each other. This is the longest we've ever been apart. I haven't been this lonely, well... The ball slips away and rolls downhill into a hedge, separating our yard from the neighbors. A furry paw suddenly pokes out of the hedge and pulls in the ball. They both disappear. The thing is, I may be lonely, but I'm also mad. Hopping mad. And for me, that always beats lonely. Because there's usually a valid reason behind mad. You can't argue with data. Scientists. A fish-looking pointer. Facts. I text both Dev and Zoe the day after Em and I had our fight. I guess I needed some friends. Zoe came over, which kind of surprised me. She usually likes to hang at her house. I get it, it's pretty posh. How I imagine Zoe's house? Zoe's actual house. Mostly we hanged out and watched TV. She briefly tried to cheer me up. She doesn't deserve you. Let's make up songs about her and play it on our ukes. That's okay. After that, we really didn't say much, but she tried. Dev came over the next day. Funny how I used to think he was annoying. Things sure have changed. Half crying, half ranting. He's a good listener, especially over ice cream. Don't worry, you two will be friends again. You guys have too much history. Wait, her story. Okay, that's still annoying? No wonder you and my dad get along. What kills me, though, is that Emmy is spending more time with Sarah, and I know I'm quickly being replaced, which actually makes me madder. And it doesn't exactly help the situation. Move, I was here first. Come on, there's room for both of us. The back door opens. Hey, honey, want to see a movie? Saturday tradition. No thanks. Dad comes over and sits next to me on the steps. This about Emmy? I don't want to talk about it. Did I ever tell you about the huge fight I got in with your uncle Ryan in 8th grade? Yes, Dad. Actually, he didn't, but the last thing I need is a back in my day story. We sit quietly for a moment. As usual, the silence gets to me. Okay, fine, tell me. This was before I met your mom. Before we dated, anyway. I asked the girl out and she said no. Later, I found a note she slipped into my locker. She had told me no because I asked her in front of her friends and she was embarrassed. She actually did want to go out with me. I was so happy. This was on a Friday. I took the note home and memorized it. Suddenly, I was in love. I even listened over and over to the song that reminded me of her. On Saturday night, Uncle Ryan laughed at me and told me he wrote the note. What'd you do? I forgave him. What? You did? Yeah, after about a week and one brutal prank of freezing a Mentos in an ice cube and sticking it in his soda. That's not exactly a good role model story, Dad. No, but I just wanted to let you know that the people can be dumb and hurtful, and sometimes it's good to cool off and get back where you were. You still can't stand Uncle Ryan. Yes, but we still got back into a better place after I forgave him. You mean got even with him? That too. I smile, but I'm still not ready to forgive Emmy. Forget the movie. Want to get some pizza? I think about it, but only for a second. Okay. We stand up and we're about to head back inside when something shoots out of the hedges. I don't believe any signs, but maybe that's one. Like, you get what you give. And maybe that's Emmy's anger rolling back at me. Or maybe it's time for the neighbors to get their dog a new ball. Now, it's an hour until the service. Dev sits with me while I ignore the drama in the party room. And Ashley and Aunt Danny playing referee between parents. What's going on in there? World War III, or something about table placement. That's what it was 10 minutes ago. We listen a moment. It's a little calmer for now. A few decibels lower. So I need you to coach me, like you did during the talent show. What do you mean? I need tricks so I won't faint or throw up or freeze like last time. Oh, well, you could do that old trick of picturing the audience in their underwear. They're family and friends, Dev, not strangers. Oh, right, gross. Not helping nausea. Dev thinks for a moment. Okay, I learned a couple tricks in drama class. In fact, I'm surprised your mom didn't tell you. Never mind. Anyway, you could do some meditation stuff or visualize the outcome. But one thing your mom once said to me that stuck out is to remember that stage fright usually comes from not having self-confidence, and the best way to fight is that to be prepared. Just like the talent show, you had all those lines memorized, and once you stopped thinking so much, you were fine. This is the same. You've been practicing forever, Bri. You know your stuff. Yeah, I guess so. I need to stop thinking. Thank you, Dev. I can also suggest some mnemonic devices. I'm good, thanks. 2.5 months ago. Just got ice cream with Dev at Tasty's. You know you're upset when you've been getting a lot of ice cream lately. Ever since the talent show, we've been hanging out more, especially now that Em and I aren't speaking to each other. Still, yeah, getting chills. A little cool for ice cream. But you guys are best friends, and you invited her to the bat mitzvah. Maybe I'll uninvite her until she apologizes. It's been 2 weeks. Em tried telling me her side of things again, but I'm still mad and know how to hold a grudge. Besides, she did not apologize. So you and Zoe are still hanging out? Yup, but... What? Well, I thought we had a lot in common. Actually sucks at it. Doctor Who? Seriously, who doesn't love Doctor Who? Right? But still, she's so cool and nice. Those pants are the cutest. I wish I were tall like you. Your hair is lush. So jealous. You are seriously smart, Bri. Can I be like you? Okay, I don't want to poke the bear or anything. What? Maybe Emmy's onto something. I stop. What do you mean? Like Zoe's just faking it? Dev stops a little behind me, like he's scared to catch up. You believe Emmy over me? Well, there are always two sides. But you know how sometimes it's easier to see things where you're not smack in the middle of them? Well, maybe Emmy's seeing things more clearly, 'cause you're not? I start munching in long, angry strides. Dev sprints to catch up. Come on, Bri. I slow down, but I don't stop brooding. Well, maybe it's too late anyway. Em and Sarah are as tight as ever. Maybe they can have each other. Maybe you should talk to her again. Maybe you should mind your own business. I keep marching in long strides, with Dev doing little leaps to keep up. We're the same height, but my legs are probably 5 inches longer. a leg comparison. I smile at his efforts. I can't help it. Dev can be annoying, but it's hard to stay mad at him. But what's harder is wondering if he might make sense. Now, it's half an hour before the service starts. Half an hour. Lips starting to quiver, knees starting to shake, heart starting to pound, brain starting to power up. Not in a good way. I'm in the rabbi's office, which has a secret door and hall that led straight to the sanctuary stage. He showed it to me last time. Handy layout. Me. Office door. Secret door, very Harry Potterish. Stored stuff. Step stool for short people. Seats. Sanctuary doors. Sanctuary, also very cold. Steps. Piano. Chairs. Side curtains. I tiptoe down the hall and peek out again. Some relatives, Gram, aunt, and a few first cousins getting the good seats. I still don't see Zoe or Emmy, chewing on fingernails. I do see Mom and Dad. They finally stopped arguing. Guess my aunt put them in their corners. Rabbi Nusanchuk still isn't here. I return to his office and sit like a frozen statue. Block of ice. Could be the nerves, could be the over-rushed air conditioning. Where is he? Maybe he got sick. Maybe he'll have to cancel this whole thing. The clock ticks. Only 15 minutes to go. I go and peek out again. Thick crowd, but still. No BFF. Rats. Too good to be true. Rabbi. Ready? As I'll ever be. 2 months ago. I'm sitting at the kitchen table at my dad's, trying to tackle my bat mitzvah speech. I'm purposely doing it here because I need to get away from Mom, who continues to drive me batty. Blah Hebrew Yadada practice. Sign-in boards, party favors, yamuklas, pay tutor. Actual bat mitzvah folder. Categorized and subcategorized. Come on, hun, pick one. The blue, the pink, the multicolor. Invitation samples. It's been a rough month. Em and I still aren't talking. She's always hanging with Sarah. By the way, doesn't she have any other friends? Every time I think about making up with Emmy, I either see them together or think about them doing the same stuff we used to do. Making up cafeteria games. Tray Jenga. The one bright spot, ever since I got friendly with Zoe and Olivia, a lot of other kids in school noticed. They're acting nicer and friendlier to me. Between all the friendliness and the bat mitzvah party hype, I'm suddenly almost cool. It's a strange feeling and kind of exhilarating. Win word of the week. Miss Win, English teacher. Anyway, I decided to put my fears about Zoe to rest. So we don't have a lot of common. That's natural in the beginning of a friendship, right? Anyway, Zoe texts me all the time. If this is her way of using me, then it's a strange way of showing it. The not so bright spot, I don't have time to enjoy any of this. I've got so much going on, like homework and my super focused mom and all the Hebrew and this speech, which I've made no real progress in. I've tried, well, once. I met with the rabbi and we started working on it together. He gave me the whole overview of the Torah portion. The big takeaway is the line from the ancient Jews to God. We will do and we will hear, which basically amounts to, I will blindly follow you. Part of me thinks, that's not me at all. The other part of me thinks, then why am I blindly following my mom? I groan and balled my umpteenth sheet of paper, which my dad won't be happy about. He wants me to type this on a laptop. But I always work better working on plain old school computer paper, aka force murdering. Okay, one more thing. I read to myself from the prayer book. It contains many paragraphs about thunder, lightning, dense clouds, smoke, blasts of horn, and mountains trembling. All because people are getting their town laws and tax codes. Not only that, they decide to accept it all, blindly, without questioning anything. Okay, so there's more to it. They also receive the 10 Commandments, which I guess deserves that all-dramatic funfair. Those are the biggies. The huge morale codes, do not kill, blah blah blah. But even some of those I've already broken. So how can I be on board with them? Taking God's name in vain, honoring your mom and dad, keeping the Sabbath. Making progress, I see. I'm proud of you, kid. Why? I can barely read Hebrew, I'm stuck on the speech, and I'm questioning everything. That's why I'm proud. You may have committed to this, but you're not one to just blindly follow along without questioning why. Blindly follow. Huh? Never mind. Dad? Yeah? I start to ask if he thinks this whole thing is a good idea, but I change my mind. I don't think I want to know the answer. It's too late anyway. I'm committed. Feeling lack of commitment. Never mind. It's okay to question, but it's also okay to learn and find new meanings. In fact, maybe I should too. Need help? Nah, maybe later. I'm gonna take a break. Gonna watch TV? Play video games? I'm gonna do my science homework. Thermodynamics. Now that's relaxing. Now, Rabbi Nosanchuk whistling sounds familiar. I recognize it's a Cardi B song. I laugh. About 70 years old. Still a kid at heart. Ready? As I'll ever be. You can do better than that. Just nervous. I threw up an hour ago. Well, you look tip-top now. I've seen worse. Much worse. Really? I once had a bat mitzvah kid get up there and freeze. Not just freeze, but stand frozen for, I kid you not, a full minute. Which feels like a lifetime when you're up on the pulpit. What happened? The cantor and I nodded at her, mouthed the words, you name it. Nothing. We thought she would turn and run. I never saw such stage fright in a kid. She was as green as lettuce. It isn't a miracle. She didn't throw up. Eventually, something clicked and she began. She stumbled a little at first, but in the end, she knocked it out of the park. Still, it was touch and go for literally a minute. I smile, but still feel nervous. Unconvincing smile. The rabbi does something unexpected. He takes out his phone. Selfie time. Huh? It's tradition. Well, as of 5 years ago, Mitzvah's kids take a selfie with the rabbi. We post it on the temple page. I laugh. I can't help it. It's so goofy. Come here, make your best Hulk face. Good. Now we're loosened up. And just in time. He leads me back to the curtain. I can hear the crowd mumbling. Showtime, Bina. That's my Hebrew name. It means understanding and wisdom. A couple of things I could use right about now. 1 month ago, I'm on my way to lunch, meeting Dev. I've been sitting with him and a few other kids from science club. It's finally May, and unusually hot. And there's no air conditioning. Hallway smells like combo axe in an armpit. I see Zoe and Olivia walking from the opposite end of the hall, and I wave. For a split second, it looks like they saw me and pretended they didn't. But then they wave and smile, all friendly. I think they're going to stop and talk, but they keep going. Guess they're in a hurry. Seems like that's been happening a lot lately. At the same time, Zoe's still sending me plenty of Snapchat messages. Ukulele and Doctor Who memes. It's so confusing. I invited her and Olivia to the bat mitzvah. When Zoe got the invite, she texted me this. At first, it made me happy that she was so excited. She kept asking me questions. What should I wear? Who's going? What kind of food? Will there be a lot of kids? Are your boy cousins cute? She only asked me about the party and the people, not about the ceremony, which was a little weird. But then, that's Zoe. She likes excitement. I couldn't tell her much because my mom is still keeping everything a secret. Off-limits party doors. Emmy was right about one thing, though. There are still a lot of rumors flying around my blowout event. I think the last one I heard from Dev was that Shawn Mendes is going to make a surprise appearance by ziplining into the party room. As soon as I walk into the cafeteria, I see Emmy and Sarah sitting our old usual spot. They look at me, then turn away. It's now been a month. Sarah tried to get us to talk once, but then Emmy and I were both so mad at each other, it felt too late. It hits me. Finally. Is it really over? Honestly, I don't even know if I'm mad anymore. I don't know anything. The others, kids from science club, aren't here yet. You look sad. Maybe, I don't know. Bride, this is stupid. Just talk to her. She hasn't apologized. Soon we see Zoe and Olivia sit at our usual table. To my surprise, Zoe waves me over. Usually, they like to eat quietly and then head to the yearbook room. They're both on the committee. They also hate the cafeteria. I wonder why. Exploded soda dripping from ceiling. Be right back. Hey, Bri. So you got a dish. Are those rumors true about your party? You mean about Shawn Mendes? Nope. No, silly. We know that's not true. Some of those rumors are ridiculous. Not sure what to do with hands. But I mean like about the chocolate fountain and Dippin' Dots. And the huge pop band and stuff. No. It's not gonna be anything like that. I mean, I don't know what my mom is planning, but we can't really afford anything too fancy. Oh. There's literally dead silence. Olivia finally clears her throat, then Zoe snaps back to life from her zombie state. I'm back. That's okay. That's totally what we thought. Anyway, see you in algebra? Yeah, sure. Guess I've been dismissed. I sit back across from Dev. For a minute, I thought you were ditching me. Nope. It kind of feels like I've been ditched, though. What do you mean? I don't know. They're nice to me, and we still do stuff, but our friendship seems kinda off. It's like they want to be friends, but also don't. For someone so smart, you are so dumb. Excuse me? And stubborn. Do you want me to kick you? No, I want you to talk to your real friend. I've never seen Dev look like this. Angry and serious at once. The same look he had when we were performing a drama scene in the talent show. You can't stay here, Rachel. Most serious face ever. He means business. I watch Zoe and Olivia get up. I catch their eye and wave by. They wave back, but this time, not so enthusiastically. Floppy arms, half-hearted smile. My sponge brain finally kicks in, and it's like a spotlight shines on my memories. Why would anyone want to come to my bat mitzvah party? 'Cause it's not about you, it's about the party. And I am wondering if that's why Zoe's suddenly hanging around you. And I know you're great and everything, but Zoe is pretty popular, and all of a sudden she's like your new BFF. Over the last couple of months, kids I barely know have come up to me and asked if they could get an invitation to my bat mitzvah. They must have bought into all those crazy rumors. Their intentions were so obvious, and at the time, I couldn't believe. Here's where Graham's Yiddish comes in. Chat spot. But the key word here is obvious. Now I think about Zoe looking bored during all those Doctor Who marathons, texting her friends while we hang out, and seeming like she'd rather be in detention with Joe Lango than doing stuff with me. Texts and memes are easy. You can fire them off to anybody at any time. But a real friendship means actually enjoying each other's company. So maybe she has been faking it. And holy cow, if I'm honest with myself, I've been faking it too, just because I wanted a cool friend. I'm silent as this all sinks in. Sinking in. Weirdly, I don't feel so sad. I just feel dumb, like Dev said. and also ashamed. I should have seen it sooner. Okay. Really? I didn't expect you to cave in. But it's okay. I get it. I need to talk to Em. Cool. I see Emmy and Sarah finish their lunches and leave. I ignore my packed lunch of, you guessed it, cold pizza and wave bye to Dev. I hurry out of the science kids come in. Probably for the best. I'm in no mood to talk about rock formations today. I hurry and catch up to Emmy before I change my mind. And stop. And hesitate. This could be harder than I thought. Hey guys. I look at Emmy a little shyly. Can I talk to you? I guess. I'll see you in art. I notice we're right near our once usual little hideaway meeting place. Stairwell nook. Like a reflex, we both sit on the steps at once. We watch everyone hurrying back and forth to the cafeteria. So, now, the first thing I hear is piano music. Then I hear singing. I follow the rabbi past the curtains onto the sanctuary stage. I sit behind the counter next to the rabbi and manage to look up. Family and friends. Seeing Em in a blur. Where's Em? Late? Totally unlike her. Starting to panic. And now everyone's watching me. For a second, I feel like passing out. But then I notice they're not just watching. They're smiling at me. They're here for me, whether I mess up or not. And most likely, I won't mess up too much. Starting to breathe again. The cantor finishes the prayer, and the rabbi goes up and welcomes everyone. Barely hear him, focusing on breathing. Suddenly, I hear my name. My cue. It's like the talent show being back on stage. Lights, camera, go time. 3 weeks ago. I'm at my mom's this week. She's running errands. I'm taking advantage of the quiet evening and doing my Spanish homework. Ugh! Just answered a question in Hebrew. Mom walks in, out of breath. She's holding a million bags. Okay, I just picked up items for the Out of Towers welcome bags. We can assemble these later. I don't even want to think about the bat mitzvah anymore. I just answered a Spanish question in Hebrew, and it doesn't even make sense. I think it says elephant breath. Oh, it'll be over before you know it. And you'll wish you were still in the thick of it, soaking up the attention. Do you even know me? Oh, honey, I was joking. Here, take a break. These will cheer you up. Tootsie Rolls. So, I can tie them together, make cute ribbons to make them look like a little Torah. You've seriously got off the deep end. You sound like your dad. Okay. So, have you practiced yet? No, I have homework and lots of tests. Next week is the end of summer, remember? Yes, but the bat mitzvah is in 3 weeks. No time to slack off now. Slack off? You know what I mean, hun. You're avoiding Hebrew practice. You still haven't finished your speech and you're hiding in your homework. I don't think you're ready. I slam my Spanish book closed and catch my fingers in it. Bri, you okay? No, I'm not okay. And you're right, I'm not ready. In fact, I don't even know why I'm having this stupid bat mitzvah. I've never wanted it in the first place. I run to my room and slam the door. A couple photos flatter from my mirror frame, and my jewelry tree falls over. This condo isn't exactly the sturdiest structure. I cry. Hard. 7 months of pent-up frustration. Go away. Bri, please. I mean it. I want to call this thing off. Hesitation, then footsteps leaving. I have a good cry over everything. My bickering parents. For Pete's sake, you're already divorced. Stop fighting. My nearly broken friendship with my BFF. My so over friendship with a stupid user. 7 months of learning prayers in an impossible language and yet to be written speech that has absolutely no meaning to me, which has to knock the socks off everyone. I don't even have to wonder if it's worth it. It's not. Probably need an air hole. I stay in my room for a long time before I hear knocking again. What? Right, hun, Dad's here. Can we come in? Great. She called reinforcements. Don't know why she even bothered. They'll probably end up arguing in front of me. What's frustrating is they got along great before this whole bat mitzvah thing about. Just another reason for me not to do it. Bri, open up. We'd like to talk. Fine. I sniffle, get up, wipe the snot off my face, and open the door. My parents come in. Honey, first of all, I want to apologize. I've been acting like a bridezilla with all this bat mitzvah planning. Badzilla. They chuckle, and I try not to smile at this lame dad joke. I just want the day to be perfect. That translates me into doing over-the-top planning. I promise I'll try to keep it in check from now on. And I admit, I probably haven't done enough to help. Your mom and I agreed to keep tabs on each other from now until your big day. Can you stop calling it that? They look at each other. Bri, I hate to ask you this, but do you want to have a bat mitzvah? Because if this isn't what you want, I shouldn't force you. I'm sorry, I realize it's too late in the game, but we can cancel. And don't say yes because this is some sort of big challenge you want to face, or a goal to check off. We know you, honey. I don't answer. I don't know what I want. You don't have to decide right now. Sleep on it. She smiles at me, and they head out, closing the door gently. I flop on my bed and stare at the ceiling. Even the cracks in the paster look like Hebrew letters. Those look like Bina. I roll onto my stomach. I guess I have some thinking to do. Now, it's time to start the first prayer. I begin and immediately screw up. OMG, this is just like the talent show. At least the mic hasn't emitted screechy feedback. I can't help it. I look at the conjugation. Emmy sneaking in from the back. Empty seats. Not so empty seats. Toddler pulling her mom's hair. Cousin Bradley sneezing and scratching his armpit. Mom and Dad smiling in terror. Grandma and adults beaming. Me. The cantor whispers in my ear. Ignore them. Just read. You'll be fine. I take a deep breath and remember what Dev said. Once you stop faking so much, you were fine. I try to listen to the cantor and Dev in my head, and something happens. Something magical. Remember, I'm prepared. Start to focus on words, not people. I mess up once or twice, but the cantor Caruso Sager helps me. And it gets stronger. And the best part? I don't throw up. But she does. 1 week ago. School ended last week. It's been a ride. I made some new friends and made up with an old one. It hasn't been perfect or anything. Amy forgave me, but I can still tell she's a little mad. She's just trying not to show it. She's heard that I held a grudge for so long. But it's Emmy, which means she's really, really bad at being mad. Want to go to the pool? Maybe, don't know. Actually, no. Well, okay. I deserve it. It's now super obvious that Zoe was just using me. She's still trying to be friendly, but I'm not having it anymore. I don't return her texts. I pretty much ignore her. Hey, you matter at me or something? I don't understand what I did. If I did something wrong, I'm sorry. Yesterday, I just got tired of it and texted her back. I'm just busy with the bat mitzvah. Okay? I probably should confront her, but I'm too tired and crazed. Honestly, I don't even want to deal with it anymore. One thing I wish I could do. You are uninvited to Brianna's bat mitzvah. My only satisfaction is knowing she realizes this is not going to be the blowout event she once thought it would be. Also, 1 week ago, you wanted to know who was invited? Invitation list. Mostly kids from science club, math club, robotics camp, and Dev, Emmy, and Sarah. Can practically hear their faces falling. Meanwhile, Emmy and Sarah are still tight, which scares me. It's not that I don't like Sarah. Actually, she's grown on me. A lot. But I'm still scared that she's going to replace me. Speaking of friends, I've stopped talking about Mitzah in front of them. I'm back to compartmentizing. This time to the extreme. It's the only way to cope. Brain one big filing cabinet. Mitzah drawer. But yes, I'm still going through with it. I admit, a big part of it is pride. The invites were sent, I made a commitment. And I need to see it through. I also learned a buttload of Hebrew this past year, and I'm not going to let it go to waste. Hebrew letters, hard work, and effort. But I did think about it that night my parents talked to me. In fact, I barely slept. I realized I do want to have the Bat Mitzvah. Em and I video chatted about it yesterday. So I realized I may not have gone to religious school all the time. I may not even be religious. But there's one big thing I like about the rabbi counter in the temple. What's that? They let me question everything. Weeks ago, first the people accept the new laws, but here it says God suspends a mountain over them as a warning. I mean, what? And the more I question stuff, the more I find answers I like and don't like. Until now, they were well provided for while wandering in the desert. God saw to that, but he or she was texted them to see if they would accept the new laws, and when things did not go their way, when a so-called cloud hovered over them. Which makes me want to learn more. But isn't accepting under force not really accepting? Good question. Something I wrestle myself with, Bri. Want to discuss? Yes. And the more I learn and ask questions, the more I relate to a lot of this stuff I'm chanting about in Hebrew, which blows my mind. And actually, probably for the first time, makes me proud I'm half Jewish. That's awesome. See, you did figure it out. I guess I did. Maybe someday I will be more spiritual and stuff. Maybe not. But for now, this is huge. Heavens parting, angels singing, rabbi clapping. I finished up the last of my Hebrew practice. The tutor just left. I think I'm set. I give myself a mental pat on the back. Not so easy. But I still haven't written my speech. I know, stupid. I just want to get it right. I lied to everyone and said it was all done. Besides, I will write it. Sometimes a last-minute deadline is the greatest motivator. That's what I tell myself anyway. Months ago. Book report I wrote an hour before turning it in. Dude. Mom walks in the room. She's been true to her word, not bugging me about practice or about the big day and stuff. She's really toned it down. That will probably change the day of. But for now, it's been helpful. Still, I noticed the smell, like her favorite multi-purpose cleaner. While the tutor was here, she must have been secretly deep cleaning for the out-of-town guests. Hi, honey. How is your evening going? Smells like lemon lavender, ammonia, and sweat. The tutoring was fine, Mom. It's okay. You can ask me. Oh, good. Just think. Soon this will be all over and we'll be back at robotics camp in a few weeks. Yeah, Mom? Yes? Why do you want me to do this? Go to robotics camp? Well, you do take after your dad. No, have a bat mitzvah. Oh, funny. I've been asking myself the same question. Really? Really? She hesitates. Well, at first I told myself it was about tradition and the rite of passage and all that, but then I dove a little deeper. What do you mean? I hate to admit this, but I think it's become a vanity project. I wanted you to do this because I did it. I wanted you to shine because I wanted to shine. Sometimes I forget that you're your own person. Or maybe a part of me resents that you and Dad have more in common. She suddenly smiles. But I think that changed as you started tutoring and meeting with the Calgary. I think it became the same reason I wanted you to do the talent show. To learn and grow apart from your schoolwork. This is a unique and privileged opportunity, something I wanted you to experience. I get it. There's more. Her face becomes harder to read. A Bat Mitzvah is about becoming a part of a community, and that's something you may want to accept in your life, baby. It has so helped me during the divorce. The rabbi talked to me, and the temple sisterhood's friends saved me by giving me an outlet. That's when I started the kids' performing arts school, remember? Oh, I forgot. I must have blocked it out, or I was just way too busy feeling sorry for myself back then. The divorce was extra hard on my mom. She cried like forever. I remember hiding out at Emmy's house, holding up in our crazy little forts. Spent more time under old blankets in Em's house than in my own room. My mom runs a small performing arts camp every summer in the temple sanctuary. They put on a cute little assembly show at the end of the 4 weeks. She loves it. I totally forgot she started that during her post-divorce mourning period. Makes sense now. So I can't say I wanted you to do this all for the right reasons. Not at first. I just hope you're doing it for yourself now, no matter what I think. Yeah, I think I am. Well, that's a load off then. I laugh. You can go back to your cleaning now. My what? Give up the act, Mom, I know. And don't worry, I don't really care. Well then, that's a load off too. Now, reciting blessings took a month to memorize. Torah procession, like a little parade. Torah ark, its house. Ants reciting blessings. Rabbi's sermon, funny part. 5 days ago. It's morning, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, feet resting on a pile of dirty clothes. I barely slept. You see, I made a serious oops. I maybe sort of accidentally invited 4 extra people to my bat mitzvah without telling my mom. Oops times 4. Yesterday, I was with Devin and Emmy at the pool, and we ran into Maya and Jamie. We all started hanging out, just like on the last day of school. Then Anthony and Tyler came, and we goofed around and decided to go to Tasty's afterward. I was having so much fun. Who knew? And in a moment of weakness, hey, you guys want to come to my bat mitzvah next Saturday night? There's going to be a party afterward. Side note on Anthony, after the town show, my crush faded away. Oh, I heard about that. I'll ask my parents. I'd love to go. Oh man, I'll be at basketball camp. No, wait, that's the week after. Cool. I'll have to check with my parents, but I think so. OMG, what have I done? Mom is going to kill me. She was so strict about the invites and not going over the limit. I get up and start pacing my room, practicing in my head what I'm going to tell her. Mom, good news! I made a bunch of new friends and they're coming to the bat mitzvah. You always wanted me to have more friends, right? So this group of kids just totally inviting themselves to the bat mitzvah. The nerve. Too late to undo it though, right? Mommy, I love you so much. This is never going to work. I wish I could just uninvite Zoe and Olivia. At least that would open up 2 slots. I stop pacing around and take a deep breath. Might as well rip the band-aid off. I head to the kitchen where my mom is pouring cereal in a bowl and loudly sipping her coffee. Hey, Mom? What's up, hun? So, I kinda invited 4 extra people to the bat mitzvah? Bri! I know, I'm so sorry. I just blurted it out. They're new friends and I really like them. I thought they should be there. It's too late, Bri. I can't go over the budget. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to take it back. Mom! Unless you can think of a way to pay for 4 extra dinner servings for the buffet, nope. I'm doomed. There's no way I can afford to pay for 4 extra people. I can barely afford to pay for a movie or treats with my pitiful allowance. I head back to my room. I can hear my mom muttering under her breath. Unbelievable, trying to put me in an early grave. I close my bedroom door and plop back on my bed. I try to clear the brain cobwebs and think. I'm either going to have to take back my invitation, which would be totally humiliating, not to mention I'd feel so awful, or figure out a way to make some money fast. I'm sorry. There's no choice. I've got to make some money ASAP. I need to brainstorm. I text Emmy and Sarah. SOS. After all, I might have a gifted mind, but 3 heads is still better than 1. Better, but not pretty. Now, I'd like to call up Brianna's parents, Izzy Davis and Ben Davis, who will give a traditional blessing for the bat mitzvah girl. Bri, this blessing is translated to, blessed is he or she who is now freed from the responsibility of this child. In ancient tradition, this was when the bat mitzvah aged girl was ready for independence from her parents. Nowadays, there's a few more years tracked on. Even so, this is a good reminder for us that you're really becoming a young woman, and this may be a moment for us to let go. A little. I have a habit of trying to turn you into me, and your dad has a habit of thinking you as his mini-me. This time for us to set that aside and let you be who you are, because you are unique and incredible, honey, and you should own that. I now call Brianna Davis to the pulpit to give her Dar Porah, which is a speech based on the Parasa, or weekly Torah portion. 3 days ago. I cannot believe I still haven't written my speech. What is wrong with me? Do I need some sort of speech writing aversion therapy? I think it stems from 1st grade when Miss Stacy made me write an essay on glue sticks for squeeze bottles. I'm at my dad's. Normally, I'd be at mom's, but she gave up all pretense and is now in the middle of deep cleaning the entire condo. We both decided it's best for our sanity that I'd stay at dad's until Saturday. Probably cleaning our neighbors' places too at this point. I've been sitting on my bed for like half an hour, trying to write the speech. I need to do it before Dad comes home. He still thinks I wrote the darn thing. But my mind wanders. Again. I think back to a few days ago. Unless you can think of a way to pay for 4 extra dinner servings for that buffet, nope. Emmy, Sarah, and I have a group text. They offered to chip in for the 4 dinners, but I said no way. How about mowing neighbors' lawns? I'd probably lose a toe, or 10. You could fill out online surveys like my sister. Oh wait, you have to be 18. We need a book on get-rich-quick schemes. That's when the idea hit. Books! During the next few hours, I ran back and forth between my mom's house, my dad's, Em's, and Sarah's. We all gathered as many books and clothes as we could and dumped them in the middle of my room. There was a ton. Wow. Lots of old clothes. Harry Potter costume, wand, old reading assignments, some textbooks, a few fun and done books. I told my mom about the plan and asked if she would help. Luckily, she enthusiastically agreed. Fine. So we drove to the used bookstore. Us negotiating. I can give you $12 for these. I groan. Not enough, but it helps. Covers almost half a person. Then we drove to the consignation shop. I can give you $8 for these. Now covers 4/5 of a person, or 1 headless person. We'll donate everything they don't want. In the meantime, any ideas how to cover the rest? Plan B. When I got home, I started rummaging through my bookshelf. In the fall, Emmy and I took a babysitting class at the YMCA, and we collected a bunch of phone numbers afterward from neighborhood parents. We were determined to make a pile of money during the school year, and managed to snag a few jobs, but me, busy with school, clubs, and bat mitzvah stuff. Found it. Filled with neighborhood phone numbers. Sticker riddle folder. I really need to clean that shelf. I scanned all the numbers and chose a bunch that I thought would be a good fit. I texted the parents. Hi, blank. This is Brianna Davis from Olive Street, going to 8th grade. We talked in the fall. Just wanted to let you know that I'm available for babysitting on nights and weekends. Please call or text this number if you're interested. Your. My English teaching mom would have a fit. Only one person responded, but I have a babysitting job lined up after the bat mitzvah. I can cover the rest of some of my bat mitzvah gift money and then put it back in my savings as soon as I get enough babysitting cash. Again, my mom enthusiastically agreed. Contract. It's not the ideal situation, but it works. I snap out of the daydream and try to focus again. The speech. Going cross-eyed. My dad knocks and peeks in before I can say anything. Dad! Oops, sorry, I just got home and... Is that your speech? I thought you finished it. I did. I'm just going over it and... Oh, forget it. I still haven't done it, okay? Bri, you only have a couple days left. He catches himself. Dad doesn't like to be one of those parents who files off the handle. Do you need help? No, I'll just do it. I'm just overthinking. Maybe try a brain dump. Write whatever comes to mind and think about the meaning later. I sit up. Oh my god, Dad, that's it. Brain dump? Sorta, I'll explain later. Let me just write. I start penning furiously. It's about time. Okay, I can take a hint. He closes the door. I'm finally dumping. An avalanche. Well, maybe a couple big pieces of rock, but it's a start. Little ones, big ones. I write and write until Dad calls me for dinner. Now, all the Eternal has spoken, we will do. That's what the Israelites said to Moses when he gave them the new laws. They didn't even hesitate. They just obeyed. That's exactly what I did when I finally agreed to have a bat mitzvah. Blindly obeying goes against my nature. I call things out. I question. I'm kind of a curious person. I'm not someone who just follows directions without understanding them first. You can ask my teachers. They usually have to tell me to stop raising my hand. So there were two things I had to get answers for. 1, why did the Israelites blindly follow these laws? 2, why did I decide to have a bat mitzvah when I wasn't sure it was something I really wanted to do? Turns out all the answers were right here in the Torah portion. There's a story I once read about a basketball coach whose team was down by a whole bunch of points. They were demoralized and felt like giving up. But the coach gave his players a pep talk. He said that each of the competing players was a superstar, but they were only out for themselves. He said that the way to beat them was to look out for each other and play as a team. So the team played with total cooperation, and soon the game was tied. In the end, one player wanted to make the final winning shot and be a hero. But he remembered his coach's words and passed the ball to his teammate who had a better chance of making the shot. And guess what? Yup, they won. They were superstars as a team. When the Israelites received the new laws at Mount Sinai, they stood together with a feeling of unity. It's this unity that I think compelled them to obey the laws without hesitation. They were in it together. Luckily, it turned out they were told to do good things. They were told to respect each other and look out for each other, to be a community. I know what that means. This year, I really learned the meaning of community, friendship, and family. I know who has my back and who doesn't. And I know why I'm up here now. Sometimes you just have to agree and figure things out later. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. Yeah, that sure goes against my nature, but I did it when I joined the talent show. I made a new friend out of it. I did it when I made up with my BFF after a fight, something I was very stubborn about. Some of this leap of faith stuff didn't work out so well, but most did. I did it when my dad encouraged me to brain up the speech and figure out the meaning after. I never brained up anything. But mostly, I took a leap of faith when I agreed to have a bat mitzvah, and I found a new community here. One that had my mom's back when she needed it. One that welcomes people of all faiths to take part in this day. One that even accepts you when you're not sure you always believe in it. For the first time, I feel like a part of a team. And my entire team is here today. Oh, and by the way, everyone knows my favorite food, right? Pizza. Well, just think of community like this. Bread, cheese, and tomato sauce are all okay by themselves, but they're so much better when they come together as one. Thanks everyone for being here while I take this leap of faith. You're my favorite pizza ingredients. Now, we're all back in the atrium, snacking on little appetizers. The cantor just led a totally beautiful Havdalah ceremony marking the end of Shabbat, which is sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. Now I'm in full-fledged relief mode. Almost giddy, kinda buzzing. But I still have to be on because people are congratulating me left and right. Goes on and on and on and on. Also, I'm so hungry. I just ordered Dev to grab some snacks for me. The door suddenly opened loudly and I see Zoe and Olivia walk in, dressed to the nines. I can't believe it. They didn't even come to the service, just came for the party. I shake my head. I am momentarily angry, but I won't let this ruin anything. Shaking off rude thoughts like a puppy. The rabbi walks over, a stuffed grape leaf shoved in his mouth. Guess I'm not the only hungry one. Thankfully, he swallows the appetizer before he speaks. Well, mazel tov, everyone. Thanks, Rabbi. Thank you. Relief day, Bri? Oh, yes. That speech. Not bad. Let's hope they're serving pizza tonight. Anyway, you did beautifully despite that initial fear. Thanks. I messed up a little at first. No worse than someone else I know. Rabbi Nusanchik did your bat mitzvah? Maybe. And you were nervous? I thought you of all people never got stage fright. Well, I never said never. Reading Hebrew in front of a crowd is a little different from performing a play. Go ahead, Izzy. Tell her what happened. I can't believe you remember. Hard to forget that. Fine. Old Cantor, frozen like a statue. Rabbi Nusanchuk knew. Still frozen. Felt like someone stole my voice and ability to move. Should I grab that? Mom and sisters looking horrified. Finally snapped out of it. Traumatized. That was you? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to make you more nervous than you were, but I guess someone wasn't too worried about it. Well, I think it's time to wander into the Cronstanti station. I'm still chuckling at Mom, who rolls her eyes. Guess we weren't so different after all. Now, my mom opens the doors to the party room. Dance music spills out. It's party time, Bri. Want to lead the way? Yeah. Wait, someone wants to talk with you. Where's Sarah? She's still with the others. I wanted to come myself. Why? It's a surprise. We walk in, and I gasp. It's filled with books. Literally. Huge printed books. My faves on fabric. Books stacked as centerpieces. Library photo backdrop. What? How? I know, I went overboard, but it wasn't my fault. It was Emmy's. You did this, Em? Not really. I mean, I guess it was my idea, but your mom made it happen. Emmy, Douglas, take the credit. I knew you wanted people to bring books, so I thought it'd be fun to do a whole book theme. It's tradition to do a good deed as a part of the Bat Mitzvah. Please deposit books here. Had guests buy and bring new books for Books for Kids. I asked some of my stage crew students to help me with the backdrops. And while the guests arrived, Emmy took the donations and made the centerpieces. That's why I was late to the service, sorry. The people entered the room, They gasped just like I did. I thought you were still a little mad at me. I was, for a while. And I know you're not so crazy about Sarah. But she's the one who kept telling me that you're my best friend and it's time to get over it. That's what Dev kept saying. But you are still my best friend, right? What do you think? I look again at the decorations, at everyone's excitement, and at M's hopeful face. I think you're the most awesome best friend ever. It's all great, but one thing that keeps bothering me... didn't all this cost a fortune? Hey, that's for us to worry about, not you. It's okay, honey. It's a simple Italian buffet, a bare bones DJ. It's amazing how you can stretch things when you have motivation. And Pinterest. Anyway, this stuff is right up my alley. Our alley. Your dad did a lot too, without much soning. Now go, that song has your name written all over it. Well, one thing's for sure. Maybe I didn't want any of this in the first place, but it sure became the party of the summer after all. Epilogue. I'm having a fun time for sure. My friends and I have already danced our buns off. We took a little break to eat pizza and pasta, oak the Sunday bar and the rest of our feet, bye-bye shoes, and now we're back on the dance floor. If there's one thing 13-year-olds can do, it's dance all night. The DJ's a little corny, but I think he got the hint and has finally laid off the bad jokes. Anyway, he plays good music, and that's the important part. Shoes kicked off, questionable dancing. The best thing is watching all the grown-ups get down. This is probably the only time I'm not embarrassed by horrible dancing. Not including the canter. Who knew she had moves? I noticed Zoe and Olivia are keeping to themselves. They came up to me earlier and said congrats, but that's about it. They're not besties with Jamie, Maya, Anthony, and Tyler, but they run in the same kind of crowd. Still, it's almost like they're avoiding everyone. What's up with them? I guess they feel awkward. I mean, they totally skipped the service and showed up to the party. I think everybody noticed. Yeah, pretty rude. Makes me want to avoid them too. I like you guys more every day. We laugh. I had told them how those crafty girls used me to score an invite. But I stopped laughing when I look back at Zoe and Olivia. They watch us awkwardly while sitting and nibbling on some candy that my mom scattered across the tables. If I didn't know their motives, I'd feel sorry for them. This is the first time I've seen them look totally out of place. I guess cool depends on context. And if their regular context is school, then they're way out of their environment. Natural habitat, booted from habitat, cold and scared. My thoughts are interrupted as Dev does a bizarre imitation of a moonwalk over me. Hey, Bri, you glad you went through with this after all? Yes, but... Stop, I can't focus. Doing a terrible floss. But, like the town show, I'm glad I don't have to do this again. But, that's a lot of buts. I'm thinking about doing Sunday school to get confirmed. Maybe, though. I heard that. All I know is that I'm finally happy to be out of the spotlight. Moonwalking in sync. The song ends. Something is nagging at my gut. I glance over at Zoe and Olivia again, who look miserable or bored or both. Playing with Rapper. Before I talk myself out of it, I walk over to them. Hey, you guys want to dance with us? Oh, okay. They look surprised, but also grateful. They get up and follow me. Then Zoe stops and taps me on the arm. Bri, listen, I'm sorry for... It's okay. Let's just dance. I lead them to my circle of friends. It's weird seeing Zoe and Olivia so awkward. And my friends are kind of frosty. But I smile and start to dance. Everyone follows my lead. And my friends start to smile and dance too. I guess they figure if a grudge holder like me can forgive those two, so they can. Soon I'm having so much fun, I almost didn't notice when the song ends and the DJ picks up the mic. All you dadsaholics, stop what you're doing because it's time for the holla. Everyone, form a circle. Before I can think, someone grabs a chair behind one of my tables, and my Aunt Danny coaxes me into it. Suddenly, I'm lifted up, almost to the ceiling. I scream, half from excitement, half from pure terror. My dad, Uncle Ryan, Cousin Bradley, and one of my teacher friends have grabbed the chair leg and lifted me over the crowd. The music plays loudly, and the crowd dances and cheers in a circle around me while I bob up and down. Even the ones who don't know the horror have caught up on fast. It's not complicated. What was this? I said to Dev. All I know is that I'm finally happy to be out of the spotlight. Me and my big mouth. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the book. If you want to listen to more audiobooks, head on over to my channel. And while you're there, why don't you subscribe? Thanks again, and I wish you all a good day.